Just how big is the revolt against the corruption of the DOJ and FBI within the Bureau? For that answer, let's return to former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik. Bernie, always fantastic to have you. Let's take this one step at a time. You have several contacts inside the FBI. About that new report revealing that the FBI has already corroborated several of the claims made against Hunter and Joe Biden in one of the known FD 1023s. The form exposes how the Bidens received $10 million in criminal bribes to protect Ukrainian company Burisma from, quote, problems. And as we showed, it seems that Joe Biden delivered on his end, getting Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shokin, who was investigating Hunter Biden's company Burisma, fired. The White House claims these accusations have been debunked, and that's a lie. But if the reporting is true, the FBI knows it's a lie. Has the Bureau fallen so far that they'd protect a Democrat who's guilty of selling out our nation for foreign cash?
I think, honestly, Chris, I think the upper echelon of the Bureau has fallen, completely fallen. And I think what's happening is lower level investigators, people on the bottom, they've had it. I think they've had enough. I think, and that's what you see in these whistleblowers with Grassley and others. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of the Bureau agents coming forward, either publicly coming out or going behind the scenes and getting stuff out to the committees like that form and that report. That report is far more than just damning. That report says that they knew, that they sat on it, they suppressed it, they concealed it from the American people, and they've done everything to hide it. If this was a municipal police department or a state police department anywhere in this country, the FBI would have handcuffs on them and lock them up and anybody involved. The problem is we don't have anyone overseeing the FBI or DOJ that can hold them accountable. That's what's making everybody crazy right now.
Yeah, I want to expand on this. The only reason we even have information on an agency cover-up is because of at least one patriot inside the DOJ, according to Grassley. Our sources confirm that it's unlikely that there's anyone left who is pro-American in Main Justice, so I suspect the leak came from inside the FBI. Here's the question. Is there a revolt against Christopher Wray and his lieutenants and their apparent left-wing bias? And if so, Bernie, how big do you think this revolt is?
I think there is, based on what I'm hearing from retired agents who have an enormous amount of respect for the line agents, who have an enormous amount of reach within the Bureau. I hear constantly now that there is a revolt. And as far as how big that revolt is, I think whatever it is now, it's growing day by day. Because when you stand up, take an oath to the Constitution on behalf of the FBI, that you're working for the FBI, you anticipate you're all about law and order, you're all about upholding the Constitution, and then you're told by some superiors, hold it, hide that, conceal this, suppress that, don't mention this, don't talk about that. You know, this is completely insane. This is insane. I've never seen this in any agency in this country where there wasn't some sort of accountability, where somebody came in and locked people up for doing it. Like I said, the problem is it's the FBI. They're the ones that's supposed to be basically the holders of law and order for the country. And they're the ones doing it.
Right, exactly. Now that the Republicans are releasing more incriminating information on the Bidens, revealing that Hunter Biden would dial in then Vice President Biden into meetings with his overseas business partners, and he's reportedly done this at least a dozen times. Hunter Biden's ex-business partner, Devon Archer, was set to testify on this to the House Oversight Committee, but is now rescheduled. This is the fourth time he's done this. What is your read on the game Archer's playing here, Bernie?
Well, listen, I think the bottom line is it's not even a game anymore. This is the reality of what was going on. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Jim Biden should be in handcuffs. They should be in handcuffs. I'm curious to see how this plea deal works out for Hunter. Because really, if the FBI was doing their job, you can't indict Hunter without indicting his father, without indicting Jim. You can't. You can't. So it's going to be interesting what a judge says when they bring in Hunter to take this plea. What's the judge say?